The Beatles, Lionel Messi, Michael Jordan, and Rodger Federer. All of these people have a lot of things in common, starting with their titles as the greatest of all times of their respective industries and their ridiculous wealth, which they showcase through, but not limited to, their impressive watch collection. But we want to specifically talk about the champion of tennis, Rodger Federer, who, by the way, flexes a Rolex watch better than anyone else, and his iconic watch collection. The recently retired legend has many icon pieces to call, and we are in awe. The all-time greatest tennis player won 20 Grand Slams in his time and scored an enviable watch ambassadorship. He has worn everything from the Rolex Classics to timepieces for the 1% of the 1% of Rolex customers. Honestly, the Swiss legend served us excellence on and off the field. In fact, there was almost always a new Rolex watch on his every Wimbledon. So without further ado, here are some of the pieces from one of the best Rolex collections we know of. First is a Rolex Yachtmaster II, a Rodger Federer watch that he wore at the Roland Garros 2009. We wanted to start the story of Federer's watch collection from the very beginning, the French Open, also called the Roland Garros, in 2009. It is only right that we start here. When it came time for Federer to make his court debut, he opted for a stunning white gold Yachtmaster II. The watch's name comes from its original intended audience of sailors. It features a ring command bezel for changing the time and a regatta timer with a customizable countdown timer of between 1 and 10 minutes. The likes of David Beckham, Bruce Willis, and Mark Wahlberg have brought this beautiful timepiece far beyond the exclusive confines of the yachting community. In addition, its ultra-chic design will liven up any suit, whether you're wearing it to the office or a formal ball. The price at retail is only $26,919. The next watch from his collection is Rodger Federer's Rolex Day-Date Platinum Reference 218206. This platinum Rolex Day-Date has a black dial, black Arabic numerals, and a circular outer dial. Sadly, it has since been discontinued, but the lack of readability, the indices are difficult to make out, is more than compensated for by the watch's unique style. Now, this watch doesn't look like a Rolex at all. It looks like something a custom jeweler would make, which is pretty cool. Anyway, the going rate on the secondary market for the Rolex Day-Date Platinum Reference 218206 is close to $76,000. Then, at Wimbledon 2012, Rodger Federer was seen wearing a Rolex Day-Date. For the record, Rodger Federer won Wimbledon in 2012. The prize he was holding was made of yellow gold, but he opted for a rose gold watch. He wore a rose gold Rolex Day-Date 2 with a chocolate brown dial, 10 baguette-cut diamond hour markers, and a date window at 3 o'clock that was spotted on his wrist throughout the event. The watch is paired with the presidential bracelet made famous by Day-Date. Its retail value? $63,000 as of September 2022. But we got to see more from Rodger Federer. He wore a Rodger Federer watch sponsor at Wimbledon 2017, also called the Rolex Wimbledon. Now, this watch is certainly a timepiece befitting of its owner. He wore it as he set a new record of 7 Wimbledon titles. He was sporting a Rolex Datejust with a Wimbledon dial 41mm in diameter. The Wimbledon dial is easily distinguished by its dark green Roman numerals against the rhodium background. It is an outstanding piece that commands attention and exudes refinement. Brands like Rolex have shown their continued support for this competition over the years. In 2009, they unveiled the Wimbledon dial as a tribute to their fruitful partnership. It has a slate grey face with Roman markings, highlighted in a traditional green hue. This design has been seen by many as a nod to the grass courts at Wimbledon. As of September 2022, the going rate in the market is around $15,000. Next is the Rolex Sky Dweller, seen at the Australian Open in 2018. In 2017, Rodger Federer earned his 8th Grand Slam victory at the Australian Open, and he repeated the feat in 2018 to win his 20th Grand Slam trophy overall. The match against Marin Cilic, a then 29-year-old Croatian ace, was not easy. Federer had already won his 19th Grand Slam tournament before their 2017 Wimbledon finals matchup and 8th Wimbledon title. But about the watch. He was seen carrying the trophy with his wrist adorned with a stunning blue dial Rolex Sky Dweller. We remember when blue dial watches were fan favourites, and we believe some people still feel the same way. And if we think about it, the rave makes sense. The Sky Dweller is one of the most complicated watches available from Rolex, since it keeps track of time in 2 different time zones in addition to displaying the date and a full year. And it was made with frequent business travellers and jet setters in mind. Talk about business class. The current market value as of September 2022 is $29,000. The next piece from his collection is the iconic Rolex OP Yellow, seen on his wrist at Wimbledon 2021. As expected, the Rolex brand ambassador since 2001 was seen flaunting a 41mm Rolex Oyster Perpetual with a stunning yellow dial at a press briefing for Wimbledon 2021. So here's the thing. The International Tennis Federation, the ITF, commissioned a study that concluded that yellow tennis balls were more visible to viewers at home. But Rolex had stopped making their yellow and red dial watches in all sizes earlier that year. Can you take a guess what came next? Yes, the secondary market price for this old model shot up after it was withdrawn. It may be purchased, however, for about $20,000. Also, at Wimbledon 2021, Rodger Federer watch wore the Rolex OP Green. Of course, Federer's collection also includes an Oyster Perpetual reference 124300 with a green dial. The dial's green hue is reminiscent of a tennis court, making it an appropriate accessory for the sport's biggest star. In contrast to the Oyster Perpetual with a yellow, red or turquoise dial, this one is still available. As a result, the retail rate now is less than that of competing models that have been withdrawn. As of September 2022, the retail rate is around $13,000. Now for the really cool stuff. Not to our surprise, but Rodger Federer also owns the Rolex GMT Master 2 Batman. Now, steel Rolexes seem to be Federer's preferred timepiece. He often wears a Rolex GMT Master 2 Batman, one of the brand's most recognizable tool watches. This watch is a dual time zone, the DST GMT model. Hence, it has a fourth hand on the dial that rotates once every 24 hours. The watch's bezel's black and blue color scheme is suggestive of the Dark Knight, leading to the watch's other common name, Batman. The current retail price of the Rolex GMT Master 2 Batman is $10,550. The model reference number for this watch is 116710 BLNR. Next is the Rolex GMT 2 Lefty 126720 VTNR. Listen, when you're a Rolex ambassador, you have first dibs on all the brand's hottest new models. That much was made clear when Federer was seen wearing the GMT Master 2 reference 126720 VTNR, the most divisive Rolex model to debut in years. The new green and black bezel pattern, which was well received by collectors, wasn't the source of contention. Rather, it was the fact that the watch was designed with left-handers in mind, with the crown and, oddly enough, the date located on the opposite side of the case. But when Federer was spotted flexing this watch, he had it worn on his right hand. Anyway, the Jubilee bracelet version of the Rolex GMT Master 2 126720 VTNR costs $11,250. Again from his collection is the Rolex Sprite, seen on the Swiss player at the Barcelona Grand Prix 2022. This watch debuted at Watch & Wonders 2022, and the next thing we saw was Federer flexing it at the Formula One Grand Prix Barcelona. This is the first ever left-handed Rolex, with the crown located at 9 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock. A first of its kind, it boasts a green and black Cerachrome bezel inlay. And boy does Federer flex this watch. Then of course he owns a Rolex Daytona Orange, reference 116588 SACO. We sure did miss Federer at Wimbledon 2022. He was recovering from knee surgery and could not compete. But did he let us see yet another iconic Rolex watch? He sure did. Federer was seen sporting a brand new, uncatalogued yellow gold Rolex Daytona Orange at Wimbledon. The 32 baguette-cut orange sapphires that adorn the bezel of this timepiece are matched by the 11 such stones that serve as indexes on the dial. It is also the most expensive watch we've discussed, costing $86,750. But if you're Federer, price tags don't matter. And that's it, folks, a collection befitting a legend.